Hello Living Dead Dolls fans, this is Josh, aka Doggiepants, and I'm coming at you in partnership with Mezco Toys for another Living Dead Dolls review. So today we're actually going to be taking a look at Resurrection Series 10. Now we've been talking about this series for a while now. The last few videos I've shown you the cards that kind of revealed the dolls, but today we're actually going to be taking a look at the dolls themselves, which is awesome. Again, thank you Mezco for sending me these dolls. It's amazing and I cannot thank you enough. Yeah, so what's interesting with these dolls, we actually got kind of a new design for the coffins. So let's take a look at that first, shall we? So here we go. Here is the coffins for Living Dead Dolls Resurrection 10. Now you're going to see that it is a black cover, which is kind of problematic for those sealed collectors. If you get these dolls, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see them unless you actually open them up. I kind of find that to be a bit of a bummer. But it's still cool that we got to see a new coffin after all of this time. Kind of a new design on how they're going to put it together. So they've got this really like jet black plastic cover there. It does not say Living Dead Dolls like it normally does, but it does say Living Dead Dolls Resurrection X right there on this very black chipboard. You can also see the little cross coming up right there on the top left side. And then it has the doll's name. This one does say Tessa. Now, what's interesting about this chipboard is it normally sits on the inside underneath the plastic, but it's actually over top. See, I'm going to bring it all the way around so you can see. It wraps all the way around the coffin. It is still under the cellophane before you open it up, but it is something that you will need to take off like that before you can actually open the coffin itself. So then we're going to take off this black plastic top, again, completely opaque. Sorry, sealed collectors. And then inside it is white tissue paper. It's kind of interesting too because when you open it up, taking the chipboard off, there's nothing to obscure the doll, so it's just the doll in the coffin, which is kind of interesting. White tissue paper, very, very simple. Black coffin like usual, but a new design, which I'm kind of digging. So that's awesome. Wanted to make sure that I showed that to you guys. So let's jump straight into the dolls. As always, I'm going to go from my least favorite to my favorite. This is hard because these are actually really good Resurrection dolls. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with Prie. Yeah, I was kind of surprised that Prie was my least favorite. She was the first one that was kind of shown on the cards. So, so I was really into her right off the bat. But just the design of the other dolls kind of puts her at the bottom, unfortunately. But she's still amazing. So let's take a look at her outfit. So to start off, we've got these amazing bunny slippers. And, you know, Prie is the only doll that has ever come with these amazing bunny slippers. They're gray as opposed to the white that we saw in the original Prie. Little gray ears. They do have little cottontails right there in the back. And the bottom does have a sole like this. But again, you're going to find that she's a little difficult to stand. Sometimes you can get her like that. Boom. But you know, Prie's been known to take a tumble off the shelf before, so be careful of that. They do slip off. She doesn't have any socks on underneath them or anything like that, but super cute. Then she's also got this amazing nightgown thing going on. It seems like, I don't know, it's a little wee willy winky kind of cute thing going on. It's black, it's a cotton material, and it does have these fake buttons that go right up the front. I'll show you those real close. A little bit of ribbon detail that goes down the front and along the collar. You can see how the collar lays there. It is all one piece, and it velcros right here up the front, so you can take it off if you want to expose her. She does have this, it appears to be a little pocket there, but it's not a working pocket. It's just for decoration, so be aware of that. And then she has this hat. The hat is actually a different material than the cotton dress or the cotton nightgown. It's like a felt material, so think like Sin and Sadie of Series 1. That is the material that it is. It does have white cotton around the base of it though, and it does kind of hang to the side to be like a little nightcap. It's cool because it's hiding the fact that she's got an exposed brain, which we all know that Prie has that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. One thing I'm going to say about this hat, taking it off is super easy. Putting it back on is almost impossible because she has got the same kind of plaster gauze around the top of her head that we've seen on quite a few Living Dead dolls in the past, namely Prie. But what that means is it's really kind of a rough material, so getting that really tight-knit cap over top of it is almost impossible. So just be aware, it's really, really difficult. But this is her without her cap on. Again, I just showed you the bandage that goes all the way around her head. It is hard. You cannot take that bandage off. It's glued on there really well. I think it also does hold in her hair a little bit. She's got this kind of short little bob, very similar to the variant version of Purdy, which came out for Series 9. Purdy is Series 9. So the variant one had hair very similar to this. The original did not. But yeah, so she's got this cute little black hair. It does feel actually pretty thick too, which is nice. And then obviously we've got the exposed brain. Now this is not the first time we've seen a Living Dead doll's brain, but I'll give you a sense of what it looks like. You can actually pop it out. You can give it a squeeze. It's painted really, really nicely, sculpted really, really nicely. And then the top of her head looks like this. There's a slight hole there, but there's a lot of blood, which is pretty cool. Where this doll really succeeds, in my opinion, is actually the face paint. I'm going to hold this up so you can get a good look at it. There we go. Look at those beautiful green glass eyes. She also has some dark smudging around her eyes and some serious eyelashes. The original Purdy was kind of known for having extreme eyelashes. And then these beautiful gray lips with some black line work on them as well. Other than that, she's rather simple face. I really like her face. I think she's really, really pretty. Yeah, but that's Purdy. I'm going to show the original so you guys can get a sense of what it looks like. I'm also not going to take the time to put the hat back on because it's near to impossible. But here is the original Purdy, so you can get a good look at the two of them next to each other. Purdy normally looks up, so it's kind of interesting that they didn't do that with the Resurrection version, because they did actually do that. Purdy was used for the Living Dead Dolls in Oz set. And when you opened up the Scarecrow, she had almost the exact same face as the original Purdy did. But I love the Resurrection version. Very cute. Well done. There we go. And there are the two slippers next to each other. Great. So that is Resurrection Purdy. Let's keep moving. Next up is Angus. Oh, Angus. I love Angus. And the thing with Angus is I think a lot of people are kind of brushing him off as an okay Resurrection doll. He's really, really cool. I dig him. I think they did a really nice job with his sack head. The eye pops through really nicely. Everything about him, I think, is super high quality. So not a doll to be written off. I actually put him as in third place. So, but let's take a look at his outfit. We've got standard Living Dead Dolls boots. They are blood splattered. There we go. No socks on this doll, though. Be aware. And then he's got this amazing wool outfit. What's interesting about this wool outfit is it is all the same material on pretty much all of the levels. I'm going to open up this coat. Maybe I am. Come on, Angus. There we go. So here we go. Let me pull this up so you can get a good look at it. So there's the wool. You can see that a lot of people didn't realize it, but there is like a red staining on parts of it, which does make it feel like there's some blood detail going on down the side of this jacket. But when you open this up, he has the same material on underneath for his vest. And this is his vest here. And the way that the vest works, you can actually un-Velcro it right down the front. And if you open that up, you're going to see that he does have a little white shirt underneath with a little kind of black tie hanging there. That white shirt does not have sleeves. You know, pretty standard for Living Dead Dolls suits. Very rarely do we see shirts with sleeves. But yeah, but that is his outfit. It is a 3-piece outfit, and each piece can be removed. The shirt is attached to the pants. That's all one piece and does Velcro up the back, so be aware of that. The coat lays pretty nicely over top of all of that. You do have a little bit of bunching and a little bit of bulk at the back, but it's not too bad. He is a hook-handed doll. There we go. You can see they use the newer hook on him versus the old hooks that they used to use. So the original Angus has kind of an old hook. This hook was first used, I believe, on the hook during the Urban Myths series. But yeah, it is covered in blood as well. You're also going to notice, it's kind of hard to tell, but he is a green doll. Angus he's always been green, yeah. So a little bit of information I heard from Damien. This Angus only has one face for the Resurrection dolls, and that's because the Resurrection dolls are rather small runs. So to do 3 different faces, which is what they did for the original Angus, you never knew what face you had until you actually took off the hood. It just wasn't an option for the Resurrection set. So I'm going to take his hood off, but be aware, all of the Anguses will have this same face. Here we go. There's a little bit of twine that goes around his neck. And here we go. So this is Angus's face. There we go. It's a really cool face, and it's part of the mold, so it's technically a new mold as well, which I really appreciate. So again, green doll. His face has got some serious like streaking. Do you see that black streaking that goes down? He's got in the mold an upside down cross like carved into his forehead, which is really nice. He does have glass eyes. One yellow eye right there, which is the one that you can see through the bag. And then we've got this other eye that is, look at that, it bulges out. Now, a lot of people were questioning whether or not you can take this eye out. You can't. It's a glass eye. Well, I guess maybe if you really fought to get it out, you might be able to, but I don't think it's meant to come out the way that Tessa's is. So I would not mess around with it if I were you. Then he's got these amazing cuts coming off of this damaged eye, right? It's almost like his face is splitting in all these different ways. And again, this is all gouged into the mold. So it really gives it some depth and some cool look to it. He's got kind of standard black hair. It is a little on the thin side, not too bad. I've seen definitely thinner. And then he's got this really weird part right in the front, which I kind of love. There we go. Yeah, but that is Angus. You can also see the white shirt there is a high collar. Once you take the hood off, you get to actually see that. Again, I'm going to leave his hood off just for sake of time on this video, so you guys don't have to wait for that. But let me pull up the other Angus. So here's the old version of Angus versus the new. Yeah, well, his hood's in kind of a rough shape. I don't think I'm going to take his hood off. Yeah, but there we go. That is the 2 Anguses. Again, here, let me pull out the hook so you can see. Here's what the old Living Dead Dolls hook kind of looked like and versus the new one. There we go. Yep. But that is Angus. Chugging along, guys. So that means in second place is The Lost. And a lot of people were not completely sold on The Lost. I love her. I think she's absolutely incredible. Her design is just so simple and so pretty. I really, really, really dig it. So let's take a look at her outfit. She's got the standard Living Dead Dolls Mary Jane shoes, and she has little white socks with lace. And I'm so happy because the promo shot did not have socks in this doll, and I was like, oh God, I hate it when they don't have socks, because the original Tessa is actually a good example of that. When they don't have socks and they have the Mary Jane shoes, they fall over really easily. So the fact that we've got socks, awesome. So there we go. Moving up, we've got this really beautiful, simple black dress. So it looks like a simple little black dress with a little white lace that goes all the way around the bottom there. But there is a lot of detail, especially on the bodice. So we've got 4 stripes of white ribbon there. We've also got a crisscrossing black ribbon that goes right down the front. A little bit of lace here at the top of the bodice. It's also white cotton here that goes up into a very high-necked collar. And there is a little bit of lace at the top of the collar as well. You can see that. She's got a little teeny black bow right there. The cuffs of her sleeve has that same white cotton material with a little bit of lace. And then on the very back of the dress, we also have a black bow that's tied right there. The bow is created like a lot of Living Dead Dolls bows, where it's put on the side of the Velcro, so you can unvelcro the dress without having to untie that bow in the back as well. Her hair is a really nice side part, so it kind of sweeps over her eye, a little Veronica Lake style, which I appreciate. It's pretty nicely rooted. Yeah, there's no bald spots or anything. It's not too choppy like we've seen in the past. It lays really, really well. Be aware that it's tied back like this when she's in the coffin, so there's a little bit of a crink, but that's kind of standard for Living Dead Dolls hair as well. Where this doll really soars, I think, is her beautiful face paint. Look at that. She's got kind of this white skull painted over her gray skin. She's got the standard lost black eye with a little white dot in the center, but she's also got these kind of like mime-ish lines going down the side of her eyes with a couple little dots right there at the top on her forehead, a really intense black lip, and a black like skeleton nose. It really gives her a haunting quality, which I really, really love. A lot of people were not sold that she looked a lot like the Lost, but I really love her. I think she's awesome. And if anybody was concerned, she does in fact come with, where is it at? There we go. Her doll. And her doll has a little white dress with a little black ribbon around the waist. She has that same skull painting on her face, and her hair is yarn hair, black yarn hair, and it's sewn on really, really well. It looks nice. It's even better than the original doll, in my opinion. But that is her dolly. If they end up making another version of her, you know, it'll be interesting to see what the doll and what the doll and what her dolly looks like as well. Just saying. Just saying, not saying anything else. Yeah, but let's take a look at the original Lost as well. Here we go. So there is the original Lost, and here is the remake. So again, that same kind of airbrushing around the eyes, which I really, really like. Black eye with the white dot for sure. She's significantly more simple, but I am not hating on the Resurrection doll at all. I also appreciate that they rooted this doll's hair completely, so she's got nice thick hair. The Lost was just rooted at the top to give her kind of this stringy effect, and I did not love it as much. But yeah, but there we go. That is the Lost. Oh, one other thing I want to mention too with the Lost. You're going to notice in old Resurrection dolls, actually from last year for pretty far back, the face paint, it felt like it was created in a different factory or something, right? Because the painting was a little more extreme. The lines were not blended as well. I wish I had some Resurrection dolls here right now, but I don't. If you have Resurrection dolls, take a look at them. I'm sure you're going to understand what I mean. That's not the case with this series. I mean, we've got airbrushing. We've got a very simple little teeny lines, really beautiful face paint. It feels like regular Living Dead dolls face paint. It doesn't feel like Resurrection doll face paint. So I am digging that a lot because that was one of my complaints about Resurrection dolls was that the face paint tended to be a little thicker, a little more extreme. So I like the subtlety that we see on this. So that leaves us with my favorite doll of the Resurrection series, and that is, of course, Tessa. Boom! Here she is, guys. This doll is freaking incredible. The design, everything that they decided to do with this doll, I love. She's beautiful. A lot of people were kind of confused by this doll because she's very, very different than the original. But I love it the same because Tessa was a gossip, right? So how better to make a gossip doll than kind of like a high society gossip doll, which I just think is so clever and so cool. So yeah, let's take a look at her dress. Now, there's two types of materials on this dress. We've got this, I don't know, what is that, a satin material? Again, I'm very stupid when it comes to fabric. But so a very shiny kind of gray material that goes over top. And then underneath, unlike a lot of Living Dead dolls dresses, it's not just attached here at the opening. So sometimes we'll see that it's just sewn here on the opening and then this ruffly part in the front is just in the front and not all the way around. This one actually has it all the way around. It is tacked along the back, so you can't pull this dress completely up off of the black one. But at least there's a lot more depth to this dress than we normally see on these kind of big gowns. The underskirt here has multiple layers. So do you see that? So it's kind of hard to, there we go, there you go. So you can see all the layers of the black cotton. It only goes about halfway, and then on the back it's just a simple black cotton there. But those ruffles, there's a lot of them, which I really appreciate. Then we've got some kind of ruffle detail that goes all the way around the opening of the overlay of the skirt, and all the way to the back side as well. It comes up here at the top, and we've got some more ruffle detail that goes around the top of the dress as well. She also has this cute little bow right there in the front. This is all one piece. This black underskirt and this dress all attaches here, so it velcros up the back. You can take the entire thing off. Now I'm doubting that, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, all one piece. I was right. Should never doubt myself. The only other little detail that she has is this black choker. So there we go. I'm going to hold it up for you. Now, I like the black choker. It's very 1990s, but it does stain the neck a little bit. So if you scooch down that bit, you can see that it is kind of getting on the white skin. But it's not too bad, but just be aware of that. And then she's got this charm that hangs down. That charm should look familiar to you. It's the same charm that we saw on the Resurrection Valpurgis last year. So it's that same exact little metal piece. Where this doll really soars is her face, the accessory that they brought with this doll, and her beautiful, beautiful hair. So look at this hair, first off. It's pretty thickly rooted, too, for an updo like this. But even, I don't even know how to say it. When I saw this, I was like, ooh, you know, they did this beautiful updo, but sometimes when they do that, it doesn't actually come across on the final doll, and the hair tends to be a bit of a mess. I'm thinking like Isabel. But this doll was made perfectly. She does have a lot of gel in this like side swoop that she's got going on with the bangs. There's not really any gel here in this up part of her hair, but they've even wrapped the hair around that. See that like there? That's actually her hair. I love the design that they did for this doll's hair. It's so beautiful. And this little hangy piece on the side here as well. Everything is just done really, really well. Super, super high quality for this Tessa doll. The face paint is simple, just like regular Tessa. White skin, a very simple black eyebrow. There's a lot of black shading around the eye. Now, the original Tessa had a lot of texture in the mold around the eye, so it looked like her eyes were swollen from being gouged out. She does not have that texture. It's just an opening. And I think that's for her accessory that they decided to go that route. She has a very simple black lip. And obviously there's this amazing accessory that I'm talking about. Oh no! And I dropped them. I got them. The accessories are, she comes with her eyes. They are glass eyes, which is nice because a lot of people are like, well, the Resurrection dolls are different because they have glass eyes, so it's kind of hard to do a doll like Tessa. But they were smart. They just included them outside of the doll. So there's a little like kind of blood on the back of the eye, and there we go. They are green eyes, right? So it'd be cool enough if they just came with the accessories, but you can actually stick them into the doll, which I'm going to do real quick so you can see what it looks like. I'm just going to do one, but you can pop the eyes into Tessa. How freaking cool is that? Mezco has never done anything like this, and I love it. I think it is so smart, so cool. I'm just going to leave one of the eyes in right now. I will say that getting out the eye is a little difficult. You have to kind of grab the doll's head and squeeze. And if you squeeze in a certain way, it'll pop right out. I'm not going to fight with it right now, but oh, I've moved the eye, so she looks like she's gone a little crazy. Let's try to make her look at least presentable for when she stands with the rest of the group. She's got a little bit of a derp face, but super, super cool. I love this accessory. So that is Tessa. Here is the original Tessa, so you can see why people were a little confused. The design is drastically different. Tessa was famous for not having socks. I wish she had socks. But yeah, but I really prefer the Resurrection doll. I think she's super, super cool. But yeah, that's it, you guys. That is Resurrection Series 10. Let me pull them all out so you can see them. Again, Prie does have some difficulty standing, but still very, very cool doll. But this is them. Resurrection Series 10, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Again, Mezco, thank you so, so much for sending me these dolls. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, so hopefully I should be getting in the Resurrection Reigns soon. So that should be the next video that I'm going to be reviewing. All right. Take care, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.